Ladies and gentlemen, we are back this week with Then and Now with George Jatras. I don't have your book next to me, Jim. Sorry. I thought I had prepared adequately, but I obviously missed some things. But author of I Try to Warn You, available on Amazon, Kindle, and all your fine booksellers everywhere you can find it. And of course, we are joined with with Mr. Tommy Salmons of the Year Zero podcast. It's been a bit, Tommy. It's been a bit.
It has. Yeah. And it's always fun to be with you, and it's always fun to be with Jim. You are two of my favorite people to be chatting with, so I love this.
Funny enough, I just had Adam Patrick on yesterday, so it's like I feel very circa 2020.
The reconnecting. I haven't talked to Adam in a minute either. I
right?
Need to,
you should
see what's going on.
Adam's good at it. Jim is just back from vacation. Tommy is being Mr. Truckerman. I'm Jason Marichuk, and it's later than you think. Gentlemen, we are here to talk about the Trump and Putin meeting, which is happening late this week. We can get into supposes and what we think might happen, and all the general kerfuffles around that. Some Ukraine war updates. Ukraine's losing the war. Good night, everybody. Right now, the war for Pokrovsk is going on. It's looking very, very bad for the Ukrainians. I just saw one stat. I think it was the Durant put this out, saying that I think there was a Swedish press put out a report saying that Ukraine currently has somewhere around 100,000 men on the field, around 100,000 defending. Russia has 100,000 troops advancing on Pokrovsk. Ukraine is estimated 300,000 troops, period. Russia's attacking with over 600,000 troops on the ground. Jeez. Of course, these are we can't confirm these numbers. Western press has been all over with these numbers. Let's just put it this way: Ukraine's losing the war. It's pretty definitive now. They're about to lose Donbass. Now we have senior ex-officials in the Ukrainian armed forces basically doing open letters to Zelensky saying you should pull out of Donbass because you're getting wiped out. So that's interesting. And of course, the EU's in shambles about it, and especially with this upcoming summit where the EU, all their leadership has not been invited. Zelensky, of course, hasn't been invited. There's rumors that they're going to try to gate crash the whole thing, which would be interesting, to say the least. Yeah. And of course, Putin's come to Alaska, which is very interesting in itself. Gentlemen,
that is probably one of the more interesting points of view, as far as I'm concerned, is Putin being in Alaska. I thought that was very interesting. The choice of venue.
Mm-hmm. Jim?
Do you think it's safe for Putin to come to U.S. territory?
That's exactly why I was thinking it was probably one of the more interesting points.
Well, here's an interesting thing about that, right?
I mean,
just really briefly, this just confirms to me that this conversation, this meeting, has been months in the planning, because this isn't something you just do on the fly. Like, hey, what's your schedule looking like? End of August. We got an opening in Alaska, right? It's nice this time of year. That doesn't happen.
I don't know. Salmon fishing this time of year is great in Alaska.
I'm sure. Yeah. Shout out to Tony.
That's why RFK Jr. was just there.
Right. So we know that this planning must have been going on for months, which puts into perspective all the other things that's been going on for the last few months as well. especially between Trump and Putin, because this has either been negotiated and they've been sending security details and all the rest of it. Check it out. There's no way the Russians are just sending Vladimir Putin over to Alaska without massive security, doing all the checks and all the rest of it. But as an observation.
Let me ask a question, because this is something that I'm curious about, Jim, and you'd be one to have some sort of insight on this. It seems to me that, knowing that this meeting was coming up and this is probably the end of the war, it seems like Putin is pushed for one last land grab in order to say, all the land that I've already taken, we're going to keep. Am I correct on that?
You could be, since I'm not going to venture a prediction of what could happen here. Frankly, anything could happen. I don't think we're at the end of the war. And I don't think Putin is trying for other land. I think, as far as I can tell, Putin will basically stick toward his 4+1 territorial demand on the 4 oblasts plus Crimea, denazification, demilitarization, neutrality for Ukraine, and so forth. I don't think that he can actually make legal concessions on 4 oblasts that are constitutionally Russian territory from their point of view. The only way he could make a deal on that, as far as I can see, would be to fall into a trap that Trump is trying to set for him to get him to sign on to a ceasefire. Look, let me back up a little bit. What Jason said about the planning. I'm sure there's been planning for a contingency planning for a meeting for a long time, details, security, and all that stuff. I don't think this meeting, at least on this date, was planned for a long time. I don't think they were saying back in end of January, beginning of February, let's have a summit meeting in Alaska in August and start planning for that. I think all the signs point to this is a really, half-assed, rushed thing they put together, because the situation on the ground in Ukraine has gotten so critical that Trump needs to try to find some way to get an exit ramp, at least for himself, which is really all he cares about. Coming out the winter, I'm the big peacemaker. I can do things nobody else can do. Or at least to try to get some kind of major concession out of Putin if Putin is stupid enough to give him one. So I think part of the reason the Russians agreed to this is that they are winning. They realize that they need to have some kind of dialogue with the Americans, and they probably think that they need to give Trump an exit ramp, even though they can't get one with the Kiev regime and the Europeans. And I don't think they know what that's going to happen either. Even the press reports about whatever kind of discussion Witkoff had with Putin about what a deal would look like are also garbled. And I think partly is a lot of people are speculating that even Witkoff didn't really understand what they were talking about, and Trump certainly doesn't. So I have to disagree with you. I think this is a rush job. I don't think there's been anything worked out in terms of details. Again, I could be completely wrong. I don't see how they come out of this thing saying, we made a deal, the war is over. I just don't see that.
Well, so one of the no, I'm sorry. I've been listening to that two-way podcast with Mark Halperin, who's the reporter out of DC. And one of the things that they've been discussing is there going to be a press conference, a dual press conference with Putin and Trump after this meeting. So if it's a rushed meeting and they don't have time to put all the security together, I would imagine that the press conference isn't going to happen.
Again, that's one reason why I think it was a rush job, and one reason why it's in Alaska. If you're doing it in a major city like New York or Washington or Moscow, for that matter, the security situation is a lot more complicated if you're doing it at some place that's really out in the middle of nowhere. You've got a lot less territory, a lot less people, a lot less points of egress to worry about. And I don't know that those security concerns would really be the issue of the press conference. I'm sure they can find a secure venue for that. The bigger problem with the press conference is, will they have anything to agree upon and talk about afterward, which is that's when you don't get a press conference, when the two guys are at each other's throats and they have nothing to say afterward. That doesn't look really bad. So my guess is, if I had to guess what's likely to happen here, is that there will not be a ceasefire. Putin will throw him some kind of a bone. And frankly, I think the bone might not have anything to do with Ukraine. I mean, there's been a lot of speculation that because Mr. Transactional wants to go in there and make deals, rare earths, whatever it is. And there's been a lot of talk. I mean, they're going to talk about Arctic resource exploration, oil, and all that stuff. And so maybe what they'll do is Putin will make some kind of a, cute squeaky noises about, oh, sure, we'd love to have American companies back in. Let's initial an MOU about a joint exploration in the Arctic, blah, blah, blah. And Trump will say, oh, this is such a big deal for American companies, American jobs, blah, blah, blah. And of course, none of it will be true, but it will be something he can wave around as saying, look at the big accomplishment I had here. Oh, yeah, we talked about the Ukraine thing and we're getting closer, but we don't have a deal yet. That's what I would guess is going to happen. But I could be totally wrong.
I think so from my analysis, there's a few things going on outside of this conflict that kind of adds into it, right? Like, there definitely seems to be a push. There's definitely seems to be something going on in Turkey, both internally and externally. I'm feeling more and more that Syria was a bit of a trap for Turkey, especially to get Erdogan to commit in there. And to start putting pressure on them externally. Israel is so far extended. It's ridiculous. They can't continue doing. They're now at war, essentially on 4 fronts, right? Or occupying 4 different places at the same time. That's nonsense for relatively a microstate. I'm getting reports now. Their suicide rates, YouTube, deletion rates in the army is climbing. Now we're not talking
self-deletion.
We're not talking hundreds of numbers. Of course, probably we're not going to get real data anyways, accurate numbers. So any numbers at all is interesting.
And this is the Turkish forces?
No, this is Israel. So
Israel. Okay.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
the Israeli army is very, very extended. We're seeing deletion rates within the ranks.
Are they? I mean, I don't expect they'd be the exact same number as they were in the U.S. during Afghanistan and Iraq, which were 22 a day.
Right.
But when you figure per 100,000 of population, are they along those lines?
Well, I mean, the number I saw, I think from, I want to say it was, I think they reported numbers from last year, and it was something in, something below 100, right? But again, this is Israel. I don't expect to get accurate information about this because I'm getting this from, Haaretz and Israeli press. So it's like, you're kind of like, they're giving you a number. Okay, well, if they're saying it's 5, it could be 50, right? Like, so you're kind of trying to figure that out. The fact that they're reporting on it at all is I think is meaningful, and the fact that they're overextended, and the fact that Iran and Hezbollah and all that stuff aren't going to go away easily. So there's that going on, and that pressure. The Europe is the European economy right now is on a precipice. I've been following I think it's going to start in Japan and move across Europe really quickly. The Japanese bond market and the Japanese economy is on fire, and no one's talking about it, but it's on fire. They're basically trying to buy and sell their own bonds to hedge against currency collapse. If that's what's happening, they start selling U.S. Treasuries as fast as they can, because otherwise it's like then they have no money.
Well, you see, let me interrupt, Jason, if I can interrupt here. I mean, I think again, in terms of my thesis, that this was put together in a hurry. Again, Trump said 50 days, then he said 10 to 12 days, and then his sanctions threats against India fell flat. And meanwhile, he's got all this looming uncertainty in the global markets that could. I think a lot of people are saying September and October are going to be really rough, and he's got that deadline approaching. The war between Israel and Iran is far from over, and that's going to heat up again. I think he's got lots of things coming up against him in the very near future, and he's desperately trying to get a ceasefire in Ukraine. So
Yeah,
he can
I
at
think
least
he
say,
wants-
okay, I've got that off my plate. Now
I totally
these
agree with
other
you.
things, and he's
totally
not going
agree
to get that. Yeah, and he's not going to get that ceasefire unless Putin has totally lost his mind.
Well, and I don't think he has. Putin, that is, right? I think now Putin understands.
I think
maybe they always understood this, and I'm just going to peer into my Slavic understanding of Slavic people for a second and understand that as soon as it's like if you leave a toe out over the bed, that's when you get pulled. My grandma used to do this, right? Like, pull on your toe in the middle. It's like, he's got leverage, and he knows he's got leverage, especially if there's a ticking time bomb. And the good thing about Russia right now is Russia is basically going, well, you've already sanctioned the crap out of us. We've set up a parallel economy to deal with it. You can't sanction us more. Like, you can't threaten us with money anymore because you've done all the things you can do. And the only other things you could do would be would destroy your relationships with India and China and the rest of the world outside of Europe. So go ahead. So I agree with you. I think it has been rushed to a degree. However, I also think that there is no way from my understanding of reality, there is no way the Russians would agree to this unless there was massive security and months of planning. This doesn't happen in a week. I will not accept.
I think Jim was making a good point because all the previous talks had been in Istanbul, right? And there were UAE, rumors, Dubai, UAE, and there were rumors that this talk was supposed to take place in Dubai. And then the fact that it happened so quickly and came around so fast, them putting it in a rural area in Alaska, as opposed to, like Jim was saying, New York, Dubai, Istanbul, one of these major cities, it shows that, hey, we need to get together. There may be some leverage that Trump has that we don't know about yet. It's very possible that Putin is looking for a meeting too.
Here's
that is
one
a
leverage.
Possibility.
Here's a leverage I can throw in there.
Okay, go ahead. Yeah.
And I just watched the tail end of Buck Johnson talking to Cyprian when Cyprian's talking specifically around Bitcoin, what they're doing with strategic strategies, the new USD coin, all this stuff, right? And this fits into the model. What I think America has been doing aggressively since with Trump being in there is setting up a parallel bond market to basically cushion and create a new bond market to suck in all the bonds that are leveraging all these derivatives markets, all these quadrillions of dollars, and put it into Bitcoin. This would actually give America, if it pulls out this way, and all the central banks basically agree to it. This is also why I think the tariffs things, where they bring everyone to a meeting, they're talking about this. This essentially would put America as the global economic control unit, because they're going to control this. It's Bitcoin now. It's going to change names.
Wait. Economic control unit or financial control unit?
The whole enchilada. The whole enchilada. Because
wait a minute. I don't see how that controls the Russian economy's production or the Chinese economy's production. I mean, we're not real production. We're not talking about numbers, some digital numbers somewhere. We're talking about people making stuff. People producing wealth.
There are three major countries right now who are in position to be global economic hegemons with let's say stable coins. Okay, right? It's Russia, America, and China.
Okay,
right. Okay. So I think the negotiations right now are how they're going to split this up, because because now it's going to be completely the bond market situation. And I keep talking about this thing, and people are getting sick and tired of it, I'm sure, right? Because it's like, oh yeah, you keep saying this is going to happen. When is it going to happen? It's quadrillions of dollars of derivatives that have to get paid at some point. Like, it's going to tip over at some point, and I think it's going to tip over very, very quickly. And when it does,
but I mean, but if the whole point of BRICS is to disengage from a U.S.-led financial house of cards, why would they want to re-engage with it based on some deal that
I don't think
guy from New York?
I don't think they have a choice, Jim. It's in terms of if this global bond market goes tits up, right? It's going to collapse entire markets. Like the developing world, Bangladesh, all these places gone, like economically finished, kaput.
Okay,
Stone Age.
Okay, hold up, because I think the question I've had for a couple of months might tie into this. Remember when Trump first floated the idea of doing a minerals deal with Ukraine?
Mm-hmm.
Within 24 hours, Putin came out and was like, "We have minerals too. Mm-hmm. We'll make a deal with you." Like, what was that? Like, that was the first time I ever felt like I saw Putin desperate. Like, he showed something that maybe we hadn't seen before. No. Okay.
No, he wasn't desperate. No, he wasn't desperate. Look, people understand the kind of character they're dealing with at the White House. This guy thinks he's the master of the universe, and he can make all these deals. And I brought the Pakistanis and the Indians together, and the Armenians and the Azeris, and it's all about minerals. We're all going to get rich, and I want Greenland and all this other kind of stuff. And Trump is basically doing what Ruta and everybody else does, which is saying, okay, I've got this guy's number. I'm going to play him. Well, he wants to talk minerals in Ukraine. Like what? There aren't minerals in the rest of the planet. Suddenly, Lindsey Graham discovers rare earths in Ukraine. That was what it was all about all along, even though nobody ever mentioned it before that. So Putin says, "Oh, okay, hey, you want to talk minerals? We got minerals." Basically saying, I know the superficial transactional way this man's minds works. So I'll throw him a bone, and I'll throw a hook out of the water and see if he bites. I think that's all that was.
To that point, it also explains why Russia, over the last 2, maybe 3 months now, they've been blitzing Ukraine every night, right? Massive missile strikes, drone strikes, big giant fireworks. That's not how Russians fight wars. Okay.
No.
One of the biggest reasons why I predicted
2 steps forward, 1 step back is the way Russia fights wars,
and not gaudy. Right, like gaudy and everything else. Yes. You go to a Russian household, it's gold and doilies everywhere, right? But like on the battlefield, yet. So they're doing that to basically impress the Americans. It's another thing Russians will do. Oftentimes they'll go, "Well, you like this, we'll do this. Don't you like it?" Right? Oh, it's very simpatico kind of thing. So it's how they just do things. We've talked about this on the show multiple times, Jim. So I think that is basically him going, "You want bombastic? Oh, you Americans, you like big bombs and going off? Cool. Watch these fireworks." Right? Like, isn't that impressive? Ha ha ha. Right? It's also why I said very early on, Ukraine was always going to lose this war. They're Slavs who are being told to fight this war like Americans. It does not compute. They don't understand it. They've always won wars through attrition. So this whole big send all the bomb everything, they've been doing it and screwing it up and like just wasting munitions because it's not in the Slavic psychology to wage war that way. They just don't get it. So and the Russians have been doing the Russian way, and it works because that's how the Russians fight wars.
Well, Jason, what you were saying about stablecoin and all the rest of it, and the Chinese and the Russians need to take the deal or the world economy crashes. I suppose that's a sort of leverage. If I can borrow a scene from Blazing Saddles, the threat coming from Washington says, "Don't nobody move or the sheriff gets it," if I can paraphrase. And so it was, if you don't agree with us, we're gonna blow down the whole world economy and ourselves with it. I suppose that's a threat. But nonetheless, the only card Trump holds, as far as I can see, unless there's a big financial threat that you're describing, is that Putin would rather have a deal than actually win this thing on the battlefield. I know a lot of people disagree with me when I say that, but everything points to a pedagogical approach, which is say, we'll apply more pain, more attrition, kill more guys on the front lines, and eventually you guys will meet our terms. The trouble is, even if Trump were to go into that meeting and sign on the dotted line exactly what Putin wanted, he can't deliver on it. He can't get the Europeans to agree to it. He could say, well, I'm going to walk away. I'm not going to give any more money to Kiev. He can't even promise that because he doesn't control the U.S. government. He does administration. The deep state will continue to support Ukraine through the Europeans as long as they possibly can until the Russians reluctantly will be forced to take the military approach. Like, for example, even if they agreed to stop at the line of control or stop at the limits of the 4 oblasts, how are they going to enforce denazification, demilitarization of the rest of Ukraine? They're going to sign a treaty? Oh, Ukraine will never be in NATO. It's a treaty. It's a Security Council resolution. We don't care about those things. We don't respect the rule of law. They can sign all those agreements they want. They can sign treaties in blood they want, and they would never be honored by their Western partners. And maybe the Russians have figured that out. Maybe they haven't. I don't know. But that's why no agreement that will actually end this war can come out of there. The best, if you want to call it that, will be if Trump, through his orange magic, can somehow sell a ceasefire to Putin and sell him on another Minsk agreement. That will be another deception. Mm-hmm. Now, people tell me the Russians won't fall for that again. Maybe they won't. I hope they won't. But that's the only game that that Trump has in town, to try to go there and sell Putin on something deceptive that would not be in the Russians' interest. And the question is Putin smart enough to see through that?
Well, there's another question too, because there are other parties involved. So we also have to ask ourselves, does Russia gain more by entering into a ceasefire and coming to terms with the United States than continuing the war and coming to terms with China?
They can't come to terms with the United States. They can't. Well, they cannot come to terms with the United States. It's impossible.
But you said they may not. They may not be aware of that yet.
Tommy, no, well, that's the question. If they can't be aware of it, then they're even dumber Slavs than I thought they were. I mean, look. I mean, the fact is, we are trying to destroy them. If they haven't figured that out by now, look, the Chinese are an issue, but the Russians and the Chinese have very, very good reasons to get along with each other, starting with their location. You know, unless they're both stupid, which I don't think they are. They figure out, we've got a lot to lose if we don't get along and a lot to gain if we do. Whereas basically the United States and Russia are probably the two biggest, most important powers on the planet that actually have no reason either to be enemies or, for that matter, particularly be friends. I mean, we really have nothing to do with each other. We're on the opposite sides of the planet. Yeah. We have no real complementary needs or complementary threats. The Russians can do without us very, very easily, except the fact that for the past 30 years, we've been trying to destroy them. And that's really the issue. Yeah. And that isn't going to change, Trump or no Trump.
Yeah, no, I agree that security guarantees. Here's my speculation about what could be happening during this summit, amongst other things. And this would play into your analysis here, Jim. Is if Putin is going in there going, okay, let's make some deals, right? Let's make some long-lasting 20, 30, yada, yada deals. You got a lot of tech guys, Facebook, all the rest of it. They want to start opening up nuclear reactors, right, to help power AI and all the rest of it. Russia could be going, we have uranium. If you want, we can set up uranium deals or rare earth deals or this or that deals, et cetera deals, right? Long-lasting critical mineral deals, let's call it that, that are going to be long-lasting and to that point where the hope is, and this really is just a hope, right? That future administrations will be like, it's too costly to we need this stuff from them, right? That would be the only other thing I could think of. of course, then we can go, well, couldn't they get uranium from Africa or from other places? Maybe that's the,
Kazakhstan, whatever, yeah.
sure.
And also, you say you could hope that the future administrations would honor that. What are the chances of that in terms of the continuity of American policy? Like, if you're for that, again, let's get back to the Arctic thing and the energy exploitation. If you're ExxonMobil or whoever, some big company, and they say you've signed a deal, you can participate in Russian, Arctic energy exploration.
Which was a deal on the
If you're a company like that, if you want to, do you want to spend billions and billions of dollars pursuing that, and then have some administration a year or 5 years or 7 years from now saying, "Oh yeah, well, Russia's bad. We're putting sanctions on Russia. You have to pull out." I wouldn't want that deal. In other words, there's nothing an American president can sign in terms of a long-term deal that can ever really be trusted, even if he means it, even if he's sincere about it.
Right.
And again, they must understand this. They must understand there's no staying power, no consistency to our policy, except when it's hostility. That we can maintain pretty good. But in terms of any kind of constructive deal with anybody, it's not worth the paper it's written on.
That is part of the problem with the American system of changing leaders every 4 to 8 years, is that consistency. Like, if you look at the Iran nuclear deal, and Obama signing it, and as soon as Obama's out of office, Trump comes in and says, "No, the JCPOA is a piece of shit.
Yep.
We're not doing that." And so that is a major problem with the continuous changing of those in the highest office in the United States. Is we can't trust that the next guy you elect is going to adhere to this deal.
Well, that was what the managerial revolution was supposed to fix, and of course now it's just become the blob.
Now it's like a comic skit. Like, I'm loving watching this.
Epstein, what? Who?
Adam Schiff.
Who is even this person?
Today it was Adam Schiff.
Oh, right, yeah. Although, can we all?
So, Kash Patel declassified a document that shows that Adam Schiff was the leaker during the Trump administration, and he was the one. He was sending his staffers out into the media to leak classified information.
Gee, that's shocking. I would never
shocking, isn't it?
Him. Shocking.
Comey too? No, he looks like Mr. Rogers. Come on, that can't happen. Let's take a break. Just brief break, folks. I see King Pill's in the chat. He's here for this. LG Brandon Walsh, nice to see you in the chat, my friend. Is Jason's voice still sexy at 2.5 speed? Well, I believe so. Just a bit more chipper. Folks, we got a goal up there on YouTube. If you're watching this on YouTube, and just general goal in general. I am saving up to buy a new graphics card for the computer to make things even more sexier and amazing and visual and wow. So send us some money. Because that always helps, and of course pays bills and keeps Mrs. Marinchuk happy. And isn't that really why we do everything in this life? And of course, go check out foxandsons.com if you want to buy some fantastic coffee from a fantastic family. Mr. Stephen Fox has been taking some hits on the interwebs. Some people are trying to get him canceled. So best way to say screw that is go buy some coffee. There's Electric Boogaloo and a few other blends. And of course, as you support him, he sends me some money occasionally as well, which is always nice. That's foxandsons.com. Use the coupon code NOW to get $30 off for orders. 15% off for $30 orders of $30 or more. And it's free international shipping for orders of $40 or $45 or more. Tommy, since we have you here, you have to do the greatest ad read for Fox and Sons. Every time you're on, I ask you, I throw it to you. So please.
Foxandsons.com, the best coffee in the world. Put that BBC in your mouth. That's big, bold coffee foxandsons.com.
I might have an archbishop watching this, so we always got to keep. We always got to keep.
Why'd you ask me to do it then?
Because
I was keeping my mouth. I was quiet. I was doing my thing.
It's just too good. It's just too good. That's why. And of course, go buy.
Love you, Steve.
Go buy Jim Jatras's book. I try to warn you, and go check out Tommy Salmons' Year Zero podcast, which is always fantastic. I just caught your latest with Adam Nutter. There you go. He's got the book.
I tried to warn you.
He did try to warn us. He's still trying to warn us. He's
still doing it. He's still on it.
Oh, and since you're here, Jim, you can speak words better than me. Tell us all about the conference that you're going to be part of coming up in September.
This is the Ludwell Conference, named after Philip Ludwell III, the first known Orthodox Christian in the British colonies in the New World. It's about the American development of Orthodoxy in America, the South, and here in Virginia, the cradle and the crucible of American and Southern civilizations. So there's sort of a Southern focus about evangelism in the South. This is the third conference. The first one was in North Carolina. The second one was in Texas. This one's here in Virginia, and we're almost sold out. We've got a seating capacity of 200, and we're just maybe fewer than a dozen seats away. So it's been at least in terms of registration, it's been a smashing success. Jay Dyer will be speaking, and Father Turbo Qualls will be speaking, and I'll be speaking. Buck Johnson will be speaking, and so Vladika Jonah will be speaking. So there'll be a number of luminaries there, of which I'm one of the lesser.
Well, but you are the elder, so everyone has to give you respect, Jim. That's how that works.
Will I be the eldest? That's a good question. I might be, actually, because I'm older than Vladika.
You see?
Yeah, I think I get points for old.
Elder Jatras in the room. Everyone has to sit under his learning tree, or he's going to hit you with a
starosta. I'm a starosta.
Hit you with a cane. So. We'll get you a cane. We'll get you a cane so you can smack the youngins with. It'd be good. Other speculations, gentlemen. Do we want to continue with other speculations of the Trump-Putin big giant meeting, or any other conversations about Russia, America, et cetera, or do we want to get into more topical, fun stuff? Big beautiful meeting in Alaska.
We can do topical. I don't know if there's a whole lot to talk about with that meeting. I mean,
well, it hasn't happened.
There's so much speculation. Yeah, there's so much speculation.
Yeah.
I will say this: the symbology aspect of it is kind of interesting. I always go back
symbolism.
I turn into Dusty Rhodes sometimes. Just symbolism, baby, funky like a monkey. Look at that! Look at all them symbols. They're clashing like a what are you? Part of a big band, baby.
I was thinking Boondock Saints when the guy was like the symbology of the situation, and he goes symbolism. The word you are looking for is symbolism.
Symbolism, baby. Alaska's an interesting choice, of course, because Alaska used to be part of Russia. Was sold in the 19th century, 18th century, 19th century,
1867.
1867. Thank you. So I'm always drawn back to that Putin Tucker conversation, where Putin just gives him a big historical lesson from the Muscovite Rus version, that history, and the fact that they're doing it in Alaska, which has historical Russian roots, was once Russia, now is America. Now we're talking about land and possibly what Russia's seizing back, what once was Russia and now is going to become Russia again.
Hey, wait a minute.
Well, no, not Alaska. Maybe. Well, maybe. But wouldn't that be the thing? Putin is his puppet. Trump is his Putin's puppet. He just gave him Alaska. God damn it.
Wouldn't it be interesting if Trump just decided screw all this, we're taking Ukraine as the 51st state, we're not even messing with Canada anymore?
They wouldn't want it.
Well, wait a minute. He did say a land swap. So maybe the Russians pull out of Ukraine, in
Ukraine
exchange
for Alaska.
are giving them back Alaska, right?
Just
Yeah,
saying.
exactly. Now we're talking.
Yeah.
Rare earths galore everywhere.
Let's talk about
There you go.
two major points of places of interest really in Ukraine would be Kiev and Odessa. Now, Jim, and you and I have talked about this quite a bit. Is that Odessa is the jewel, and it would be weird for Russia to walk away without at least some control or something with Odessa. That's got to be talked about. And I think at this point now, Kiev is going to be talked about, both for symbology and also, Putin has put the Orthodox Church and the Canonical Church of Ukraine in his list of demands constantly for at least the last 2 years. And of course, we've seen the abuses happening under Zelensky on that church. So that's not nothing either. And Kiev being the site of the Kiev Larva and many major holy sites for the Orthodox Church, just in general, that's got to be weighing on there's going to be that's going to be brought up at some point, I think. Whether
You
at the
notice
summit
that you notice that every war that America enters or funds is intricately designed to kill Christians.
does seem that way, doesn't it?
It's like maybe we're the baddies.
We've got skulls on our hats.
We do talk about death a lot.
Pirates are fun. Well, look. Yes, that's true. But back to what you were saying about the church, about Kiev, Odessa, and so forth. Again, let's keep in mind what the Russian demands are. They've expressed concerns that yes, those things have to be addressed: demilitarization, denazification. But in terms of territory, if all they're insisting on is the 4 oblasts plus Crimea, how do they enforce any of that stuff? How do they get delivery on all those concerns that they insist are central to their demands if they don't control anything outside of the 4 oblasts?
Right. Yeah, no, agreed. I mean, yes, Donbass, a lot of these regions have a lot of rare earth minerals, and they're you can say they're important to Russia in terms of transport. Because the other thing that no one talks about is they did seize a lot of ports along the Black Sea, not Odessa, but a lot of the other areas as well. So it's not like they're.
Well, and remember too that if Kherson, the constitutional limits of Kherson Oblast, which Russians consider Russian territory now, includes the Kherson, which they held earlier in the war and then pulled back out of it, back across the Dnieper, when it was clear that the other side wasn't going to come settle, and they were actually have to put up a defensive line. Right. So the thing is if they insist on those constitutional limits, that would mean that they get the city of Kherson back, and that puts them on the other side of the Dnieper in the same part of Ukraine as Nikolaev and Odessa. There's no way I could see that people on the western side would agree to that.
Tommy?
I have no input on this. I don't know anything about that country. I've never been there.
See, that's the thing. I mean,
the women are hot.
Yeah. It's a tough one to do, especially over the last few years, because they keep changing the map sizes. Right, every time you look at it, you can almost tell where the propaganda is coming from, because Ukraine either is like the biggest piece of territory in the world, like bigger than continental Russia sometimes in some maps, and other times it's like super tiny, like Micronesia, like it's freaking Cuba, right? So it changes size. It's also difficult because depending on who you're
I'm not
going
to be one of these idiots that pretends like they understand the internal politics of some nation I've never been to. I don't know anything about how the internal politics work in Ukraine or Russia.
Been there? Have you even been there?
Have
Tommy?
You been? Have you been? You know what? Hey, did y'all hear? I don't know if y'all had a chance to listen to the Pierce Morgan today with Dave Smith was on there with He was on with a general,
Oh no.
and then some liberal, and some Ukrainian girl. And this liberal dude kept telling him that sanctions would get the Donbass back for Ukraine. And Dave Smith finally just stopped after like 5 minutes of arguing with this like liberal guy. He stopped and he goes, "General, you would know better than me. If we put sanctions on Russia, would they release the Donbass back to Ukraine?" And the general was like, "No, that's ridiculous." It was funny as hell.
Well, because I mean,
Well, you know,
they've worked so well before.
Well, I just don't understand why liberals think things work that way. It's like, oh, if we tell them that we're going to tax them, then they're going to give us their freaking like this land. No, it didn't work that way. Nobody cares.
All that guy's revealing is if you threatened his paycheck, he would capitulate. So if you told him, like, "Hey, we're going to take more of your money," like, "Okay, what do you want? Like, what do you need? Like my wife, like my child, like what?
My
what
wife,
do you want?
my kids." Yes, exactly.
That's all.
Yes,
that's all he's admitting to. Sorry, Jim, I cut you off.
Yeah.
You know, I was going to say. I mean, the other thing too is that I think a lot of the people who opine on these things have a very poor grasp of the geography involved. I mean, they'll say, "Oh well, the Donbass, the 4 oblasts, well, that puts them on the Dnieper." Well, no, not exactly. The South that actually puts across the Dnieper, but if you look at the rest of Ukraine, I mean, they're nowhere near the Dnieper River at that point. Even a city like Kharkov, the second biggest city in Ukraine, which is only 20 miles from the Russian border, is still in Ukrainian hands. I mean, it's you know,
right.
the idea that somehow if they break out of the Donbass, they're on the Dnieper, they're practically in Kiev, and before you know it, they're in Lvov, on the Polish border. I mean, it's not like that at all. It's a much more complex thing. It's a big country to start with geographically. You know, somebody could do a quick search. How many square miles compared to Texas? But it's not. You know, it's a good sized country.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's ridiculous. Like for so many people to act like they understand the internal politics of a region when they have no experience with the region, right? If you ask me about South Africa, I could tell you a lot about South African politics, but I couldn't tell you what it's like to live in South Africa because I've only visited South Africa and I know people that live in South Africa, right? Like there's no way I can give you the internal politics. I can give you a general overview of what the politics are. I can't give you like to the detail like I could in the US. Right. And so it makes no sense. These people that have no idea what they're talking about, having some idea, like that's what's great about having Jim here is that Jim's done work in this region. He understands like how the government operates to some degree, maybe not like he wasn't there yesterday. You know, he hadn't been there. When's the last time you were there, Jim? It was in the 90s or
No,
maybe
it was 2000.
I thought you were in South Carolina. He was in South Carolina, Kiev.
It's why the internet
yeah, sure. That's right.
is so spotty. That's why.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah. So it's been a while. It's been a minute. Like so, like you know more than most people do about the region, but it's like some of these people have never even.
Well, let me give you an example. Early in the war, I forget which news outlet did it. They gave people a blank map of the world, you know, just showing all the borders of the countries, but no names on them. And they asked them to identify where Ukraine is. And only 1 out of 6 could even get roughly within the same neighborhood. Some people thought it was in the middle of the Indian Ocean. Some people thought it was in the Pacific. Some people thought it was in the middle of the United States. And the interesting thing is, the
way that Biden was spending money, it might as well be in the middle of the United States.
well, here's the thing. Consistently, the farther away people thought Ukraine was from its actual location, the more certain they were we needed to do something about it.
Oh, geez. Right. Yeah.
Just
and see, I read. Okay, so I was one of those idiots that went and read Zbigniew Brzezinski and his book, The Grand Chessboard.
Chessboard. And yeah, I did too.
Yeah,
I did.
Oh God, it took me forever, dude. It was one of the most boring reads in the world. Like, don't even bother. But one of the things that I realized that he was talking about when he got into Eastern Europe, he was talking Uzbekistan and Ukraine and Russia and all these countries over there. All he was talking about was natural gas. All he talked about was the control of natural gas in that region. So the whole mineral rights issue, yeah, like we want rare earth minerals. I get it because of technology. But the big push to control this region was natural gas back in the freaking 70s.
Right. No, I mean, yeah, oil and gas is where it's at. And
by the way, if I could interject, Texas has a land area of 269,000 square miles. Ukraine is 233,000 square miles. So it's of the same magnitude, a little bit smaller, but still, comparable. So it'd be like,
right about
again, suppose this were happening in Texas. Yeah, and suppose this were happening in Texas, and I don't know, the Mexicans or the Russians or somebody had conquered San Antonio and Houston, and people would say, "Oh my goodness, they're almost to Dallas." Well, no, not quite. It's they still got a long way to go.
Yeah,
right.
Oh, and also over
this
very
was
flat terrain.
This was one of the things that Scott always brought up whenever people would like advocate for invading Iran. It's like Iran's about the size of Texas. Like, have you ever driven across Texas? Yeah. Do you know what you're dealing with when you deal with like the terrain of Texas? You go from marsh to mountains. Like, it's like completely different from one side to the other. You're not dealing with the same type of terrain. You got to train in multiple different fields to be able to fight in this terrain. It's not like one thing all the time across this entire span of geography.
Like,
and Iran is 636,000 square miles. So it's like 2.5 times the size of Texas.
There you go.
Yeah, and
it's pretty damn.
But it's just that geography, that change in
So,
geography. You don't even know what you're dealing with when you're dealing with the mountains and the marsh and grasslands and the rain and the desert, and all these things exist in Texas. Like, just drive around the state for a couple of days. Like, it's not the same as driving across Oklahoma or driving across Illinois. Like, Texas is the size of
my exes live in Texas.
Yeah, because Texas is so goddamn big.
The sun is riz and the sun is riz and the sun is set, and we ain't out of Texas yet.
I was into forced deportations before it was cool. That's all I'm saying. Just get them out. Get them out of the city.
I live on the west side of Texas. I live almost right at the border. I'm about 15 minutes from the western border of
Mexico?
Texas.
By the way, Iran is Iran is
border. I'm sorry, Louisiana.
Oh, okay.
I'm on the eastern border. I'm sorry. I'm thinking going the other way. So if you
Iran is almost as big as Alaska, by the way.
Yeah, and Alaska's huge. If you drive to El Paso, it'll take you 14 hours from my house.
Oh yeah, I've driven across it. It's something.
It's a drive, and you feel like you've gone through. I drove over the road for 12 years. You feel like you've gone through several states by the time you get through Texas.
Yeah,
just because everything changes. If you drive from Indiana to Nevada, all you see is corn for 5 states. Like it feels like you're in the same state passing the same thing for 3 days. But if you drive from one side of Texas to the other, it feels like you've gone through 5 states.
Yeah, again, all this getting back to the question of Ukraine, but I think people just need to get a grip on what we're talking about here. And when people sort of make these facile observations about, this oblast and give up, the Donbass and this and that, they're really not looking at in terms of the big picture of what could, and of course, Russia, the size of Russia is literally
it's 17 million square kilometers.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I got distracted trying to track down all of Jason's exes. But but my point was, like, you don't know what you're dealing with whenever you go into these countries and you're going
No, of course
this far across a country, like
But I mean,
whether
but
it's
this
Ukraine,
is
Russia,
it's
Iran,
also
whatever it is.
It's also that people have movie brain, right? Or Saturday morning cartoon brain, as I've said, and basically what it is people have been raised on war movies and all this other kind of crud. So they just think like, oh, you just go in there and you drop some bombs and you go in there with tanks and then it's over, right? And kind of in Iraq and even to Afghanistan to a limited degree, yeah, those went on for a while, the aftermath, but the media attention was on the big blitzes, right? The big attack patterns, and then they gained territory and won, and they're like, haha, see, that's how you do it. Afghanistan, taking out a few cities in Afghanistan, although impressive, isn't the same thing as taking over massive amounts of territory in Ukraine. Like taking over like four oblasts, 4 provinces, is like taking half of Canada. Or well, I shouldn't say that, it's not that big, but you know what I'm saying, like it's taking multiple a huge amount of land in a relatively, I mean, we're going into what, year 3, or we're in year 3, a relatively short span of time, all things considered, and the Russian ways of waging war, which is attrition. So they're just going to grind you out. It's slow, it's methodical, it's not sexy, it doesn't get big headlines. But apparently it works because they're making inroads every day now. The other thing too that Ukraine has that maybe other places don't is winter. Freaking winter. Big giant crappy winter. So there's always also that to consider. We got super chats coming in, $10 from King Pilled, and also $10 from KLW329 in Cincinnati. Appreciate you, folks.
Give us some more. We need more money.
I need to buy some stuff. Exactly. My daughter's growing. She's getting heavy. My goodness. I had to get her eye drops. She's 5, going on 15.
5.
Yep. Yeah. I sometimes I love talking to my daughter. It's one of my favorite things in the world to do. But occasionally I'm like, damn, we did teach you to speak. And I taught you to speak. So now it's like a little bit of me coming right back at me. And I'm like, I don't like this now. I don't like this. She's getting,
it's wild, man. A few weeks ago, I brought my 21-year-old son to New Orleans.
Right.
And it was like, oh, wow, you're old enough to go to New Orleans with me. Oh, it was a blast. We had a blast. Yeah, we spent 3 days down in New Orleans. Way too much.
What happens in New Orleans stays in New Orleans, kid. That's the first rule.
It stayed. Yeah. Yes. It did not stay. He came back telling all kinds of stories. I was like, shit, I forgot to tell him not to talk about this.
The new tattoo and all this other stuff going on.
No tattoos. I did bring him to his first metal show and his first dive bar, though. And then we went and saw Dustin Poirier's retirement fight. So,
how you been, Jim? You just had a big family vacation, get-togethers, something or other. Jim, sorry.
Well, I'm sorry, I missed you. Did you ask me a question?
Yeah, I said you just came back from big family thing as well.
Yeah, from Charleston. I've never been down there before. It's I didn't really have an appreciation to the extent to which the colony of South Carolina was more oriented toward the Caribbean, Jamaica, Barbados, places like that, more than say Virginia. It's a rather odd place, kind of a pirate history to it. It's I enjoyed it a lot. It was hot, but not too terribly bad. So it's I recommend it highly. I was quite charmed.
Yeah.
Although I will say this. I only saw one Confederate flag the whole time I was there in Charleston. What is the world coming to? I mean, in downtown, in a downtown like the historic area like that, American flags everywhere, which is fine. But I think it's gotten so gentrified or whatever, she-fied, that if you put up a Confederate flag there, I think the whole place would cave in. During the whole George Floyd and all that nonsense, they took out John C. Calhoun's statue. He was even dead before the Civil. I mean, he had nothing to do with the Civil War. What's the deal with that? It was just crazy. I did see his grave there, though.
Is that still going on? Is that still kind of because you haven't heard obviously a whole bunch of that since post Obama?
Well. Two things, by the way. They're putting the Confederate monument back up in Arlington Cemetery. It's the one called the Reconciliation Monument, and they're also putting up General Albert Pike's statue up near the federal courts. The Confederate general. I guess they can do that because this is federal land. So they can do that with executive order from the administration. Although, frankly, but given the fact that Albert Pike was this huge Freemason into all the esoteric occult stuff with Luciferianism and all that stuff, I'm not sure that's just the biggest win in that crowd. But guess you take what you can get. You take your dead Confederates where you find them.
Well, how is it in Trump's America right now? Obviously. I get mostly just reports. You see the headlines, you see the things on X and all the rest of it, and we all know that that's more and more that's being curated for reasons.
Well, I'm sure you heard my podcast with Buck when I got back from Namibia last year, and yeah, it's. I mean, the vibe shift is real. Like everything's changed. The whole tenure is different. Like there are still liberal media is still crazy, but the general population is accepting of Trump now for the most part. And it wasn't like that in the first term.
I feel that shift even here in Australia. Because when I first came here in 2021, right? Very anti-Trump, to the point where I was being accused of being a Trump supporter for me going, I don't like how the media is talking about him. And again, I've been very clear about this for years now. I'm like, it's not that I'm pro-Trump or anti-Trump. I'm Switzerland.
They make you defend him.
I don't care.
It's like, well, they're so hysterical. They make you defend him. It's like, okay. Like he's funny. He's genuinely a funny guy. Like the other day when he did that press conference, when he was talking about taking over DC, and somebody asked him about the whole meeting with Putin, and he goes, "Look, by the end of the meeting, even 2 minutes into the meeting, I'm going to know if he's going to want to make a deal." And they go, "How do you know?" And he goes, "Because that's what I do. I make deals." And it was just funny. The delivery was good. It was funny. You don't have to agree that that's what he does. You just have to admit that was funny. The way he delivered that line was funny.
Well, he does that. He's good at that. I mean, even when he says goofy things, which he does a lot, there's something genuine about the guy. You feel like you're talking, hearing from a really
your brother-in-law,
regular guy. With some wit.
It's like I'm talking.
But then he says really dumb stuff too. I don't get it.
Yeah, but the dumb stuff you hear him say is the dumb stuff you would hear any average person say on the street any given day. And it's like, okay, there's nothing absurd about what he's saying. I know a lot of people that think this way. And they turn it into, they make it into something, and you're like, oh my God, dude. Like the only thing more absurd than what Trump said is your reaction to what Trump said.
Well, he's got kind of an Archie Bunker charm in a way. He's like sort of the ordinary Americano. And that's part of why you got to like the guy. I mean, even though he drives me crazy sometimes, he does some really dumb stuff and some bad stuff. I say, well, what the hell? I mean, he's the best we've got and the best we're ever going to get. So you got to sort of stick with him. But also, I'm not a Trump pansy. I'm not out there saying, oh, he's wonderful. He's wonderful. Oh, forget about Epstein. Nobody ever cared about that. That was the Democratic plot. I mean, come on.
Right.
I mean, it's, but it doesn't mean I'm going to say, okay, I hate the guy. He is what he is. Support him when he's right. Oppose him when he's wrong. Hope for the best. But I think the real positive thing is not even what he's doing or saying. It's the fact that it's like you said, the vibe, the tenor of the thing, that people are feeling that there's somebody in the White House who's kind of like all these other guys around me here, just regular Americans, and he's recognizably American. Now, it's almost, I hate to put it this way, it's an ethnic vibe. You feel that a real American is in the White House for a change, as opposed to some snotty, Harvard educated, guy who just has nothing in common. It just represents the financial oligarchy. Now, in fact, he represents the financial oligarchy too, in terms of
exactly
administration, but he doesn't come across that way.
Right. He come across as a normal dude. It's like somebody that you grew up with, hanging out with as a kid that got wealthy.
Yeah.
It's not somebody that was born into it. And
even though he was.
It's just the vibe. It's just the vibe. It has nothing to do with the reality. I get his dad gave him $1 million. I'm not, all right, fine. My parents did not give me $1 million. I get it.
I was listening to Ian Burlingame, just did an interview recently. He's an interesting guy. He brought up something that I've been kind of sleeping on, that Trump's mother was Scottish. Like, I forget her last name.
Yeah.
But like, Trump McCulloch. Whatever. And like old school, very like, heritage American kind of thing.
Right.
And he brought that up. Yes. It's like, this is also the interesting thing about some of the key people that Trump surrounded him with. Everyone, talks about the Kash Patels and the magical Browns and all the rest of them. Of course, the magical Oasis people from the Middle East. But people kind of sleep on the fact that he also has put in some real deal heritage Americans.
I like Kash Patel, but he never looks me right in the eye.
I know.
Sorry, I couldn't let it go.
he always looks.
I could not let it go, man. I can't let that go.
he always looks as like the curry is just hitting in, like the extra spicy curry is just hitting. Shouldn't have had the jerk chicken. Anyways, because, and this is, Matt is in the chat, and Matt's talked about this, and Tom Luongo and a few others, is that there is an inner circle, I think, and perhaps this is speaking to the Carlyle Group and a few other entities, where they might be evil and all the rest of it. Yeah, absolutely, 100% sure, but they do recognize that America is where they do their business, and they have a legacy, a vested interest in America existing, not as a vassal state to the city of London or to Israel or anyone else, but as America being a real prominent force and somebody to be respected in the world. So I think when you start calling on that, and as an outsider, I've noticed this a lot of times with Americans. I've shared this story before, but when I was living in Paris during 9/11, when the buildings were coming down. Sorry, excuse me, I got the hiccups. And ran to this Irish pub to watch it on CNN. And I'm sitting around a table with a bunch of American expats who I had known them, and literally the day before were anti-America, down with America, very Howard Zinn kind of readers and that kind of thing. And then this thing was happening, and I turned to them like, this doesn't feel right. Like this almost feels like some sort of media setup. I don't know what it is. This whole thing doesn't. It kind of stinks. And they all turned on me at once and said, "How dare you? Say that America would do this to Americans." And I'm like, whoa, okay. There we go. It's like, it's like the old joke is if you give a German a few Steins, all of a sudden they're like, well, Adolf had some good points. Look at the roads. Kindergarten is fantastic. It's like it's there, man. It's sometimes you got to scratch at it, but it's there. American patriotism is no joke. It's a force to reckon with. Excuse me. Oh, my goodness.
Spoonful of peanut butter will fix that.
Oh, get on that.
No, or Vegemite. Don't they have Vegemite down there? That'll do it.
What? Oh, I wouldn't do a spoonful of that stuff. I just
or take a drink upside down.
Yeah, well, no, he's in Australia. He is upside down.
Right. I just have to take a drink.
Yeah, he just had to take a regular drink.
That's Beatrix. Beatrix hates peanut butter, so she always just takes a drink upside down.
Really?
Yep.
The only problem
But
is
it
I actually
it works every time.
I love peanut butter.
How do you do that though?
And I sometimes
Oh,
eat
you
peanut
just
butter by
lean
the spoon.
over, you take the drink and tilt your head back. It
Oh,
works.
is that what it is? That's
It
not
always
upside down.
works. Yeah,
almost-
because it makes you take a breath. What it is, it makes you take the breath.
Well,
I've
I
almost
see.
killed myself. I've almost killed myself eating peanut butter before because you take a big spoonful and then you don't have milk around. You're like, and then you're trying to drink milk. It's always milk. It's got to be milk. And you're trying to drink milk, and it's just like it's not doing it. You're like, I'm dead. Oh my god, I'm dead. this is how we go out.
I would tell you a story, but we probably have a bishop watching this, so I'm not going to tell you the story.
What's a
We'll do it off
shoey?
air.
What's a shoey? Jason,
Yeah,
have you
what's-
ever done a shoey?
Have you ever done
A
a
shoey? Oh, that's when you fill a shoe full of beer and you drink it out of the shoe.
Oh, okay.
No, no.
Yeah, it's an Australian thing. That's an Australian thing.
No, I've never done a shoey, and I will never do a shoey. That's no.
There's a UFC fighter, Tai Tuivasa, that always does a shoey after he wins a fight.
Well, yeah, no. There's a few things I don't. There's a few Australian things I don't do. I've never drank out of a goon bag either. Just to be just to
What's
get
a
that.
goon bag?
It's so wine. Australia
It sounds like a catheter to me.
Kinda. Australia championed the box wine craze back in the 80s. I don't remember these things, right? So inside of a box wine,
remember that.
right, it comes in like this bag, right? This thermo bag. And that's what they call a goon bag here in Australia. So oftentimes what they'll do, if you're out in the bush, you're doing a bush dip or something like that, you'll take the bag out of the box and then just like drink out like a wine skin.
Oh, that makes sense. Like
a real good bogan wine skin. Yeah.
There you go. Oh, that's an idea.
Never did,
By the
haven't
way,
done that either.
Now, what's this? Tommy went on a Nephilim death squad. What's that about?
Yeah, that's one of my buddies' podcasts.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's the name of a podcast. Okay. I thought you actually went on a death squad for some real Nephilim.
No. It's my buddy's
Okay.
podcast, Nephilim Death Squad.
All right. Sorry.
Yeah.
Shows how much.
Yeah, I've
the
been
old
on there.
man-
He's hunting Nephilim. He's bringing his ducks. He's riled up the ducks.
That's Top Lobster. The guy who used to make T-shirts, Top Lobster.
Oh, okay.
That's his podcast. Yeah,
Excellent.
Danny.
I like the name.
Great dude.
And Raven too, right? Some people have added me with those guys. Top Lobster. And
Yeah. Raven's the other guy. Yeah, I don't know him very well. I've only met him the one time. Yeah,
I think Top.
but
Lobster
I wasn't on their podcast. I had them on my podcast. But yeah,
Right. I think Top Lobster still has me blocked from back when I did the Dave Smith Friend or Fed, and Clint Russell got all his.
I can't
his
believe
Jimmy's
that
Russell.
because I don't believe that because I was on that.
I just remember. I remember we did that show, and then Clint got all miffy about it, and then they actually did a show about it on whatever it was called, Power Gang, the Power Bottom.
Oh,
Gang,
the Power Gang.
Yeah, whatever it was.
Yeah. Tower Gang.
Right.
Yeah.
And they did an episode
I don't
right
think
afterwards.
they do podcasts anymore. I still keep in touch with some of them guys though.
Yeah.
Hey, some of my
I knew all those guys.
Some of my best feds are friends. Of course, in this part of the country, every you can't swing a cat without hitting a fed.
Everybody there is a fed.
Yeah. It's like we're at St. Herman's. We say, "Who's the glowy?" Well, they're all feds. What are you going to do?
Well, I mean, what is it? Does like Tucker Carlson and Nick Fuentes are your neighbors? Is that what's going on? Is that
No.
have you been paying attention to this one, Jim? Where
No, I've noticed the Candace Owens and Nick Fuentes. What's that all about?
I've been deliberately staying out of it because I
Yeah.
feel like it is the height of effigy. Like I won't say it.
I say let
it's a
the
bundle.
papers fight.
It's a big giant bundles of sticks there, Jim. That's
Yeah.
what I think about it.
I don't know anything about anything that has to do with Nick Fuentes because I tried to listen to him debate Dave Smith one time and I can't stand the guy's voice. So I don't know anything that he has anything to do with.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of accusations. Tucker Carlson mentioned his name because Candace had Nick on, and then they had a back.
I
and
did
forth.
hear he was in a sex tape with Destiny, though.
God.
Really?
Good night, everybody.
I don't know if
That's-
it's true.
I wouldn't.
but
I wouldn't doubt
I
it
heard
because
that.
apparently
Well,
Destiny is just.
I've heard it too. When you just said it, I heard it.
Yeah.
Wait,
I don't know if it's true.
Jim is extra spicy tonight. I'm liking the spicy. I think the glass is bringing it out of him. It's like he gets the gonzo journalism glasses on, and all of a sudden it's like Fear and Loathing in West Virginia.
Jim goes on vacation, comes back with the spicy glasses, and we get the good Jim.
Yeah, well, this is
Throwing
Virginia by
heaters.
not West Virginia.
Yeah, this is the Jim that doesn't get on what's it, Rachel Bevan's show. When Jim goes on Rachel Bevan's show, it's all yes, Rachel,
Levin,
no, Rachel.
Levin.
Thank you for
Yes.
having me on, Rachel. Yeah, I see. He gets on here.
Yeah, I can
It's all ornery.
I can let my hair down with you guys.
Yeah, some Virginia bourbon up there, Jim.
Actually, yes.
Yeah, I'm sure they do.
There you go.
Gentlemen, we're over the hour mark. Do you guys want to keep going a little bit longer? Or I know it's getting late for a few of you. Thank you for everyone in the chat. Of course, keep supporting the show every which way you can. Send us your money. I'll spend it wisely. Don't worry. I'll put it to good use. I will invest it. Do wonderful things with it. Yeah, goon. I'll get a goon bag. I'll get a goon bag and drink it on it. No, I'm not going to do that. I refuse.
Drink peanut butter straight out of it.
You know, this show is so educational. I'm learning all sorts of stuff. It's really great.
Right?
You know, who says you can't learn stuff at my age?
Kangaroos are deers on meth. There's goon bags. There's like thermoplastic wineskins are all the rage. It's just like Greece, but you know, Australia. What else is? The other thing too. Australians get very proud about weird things like screw caps on wine bottles. They're like, "Oh, we invented that. Oh, it's a better way of drinking. Oh, it really keeps in the freshness of the wine." I'm like, that's not how
it is. Funny because the
only
only wine that Beatrix wants me to buy here locally isn't actually an Australian wine.
Really?
Yeah.
Which one is it?
I don't remember what it's called, but it's got a kangaroo on the front of it.
Didgeridoo Shiraz. Oh,
I have no idea what it's.
Is it Kangaroo Trail? It might be.
No, that's not it.
There's
a bottle in the kitchen. I'd have to go look at it.
What's the one that has this one has a kangaroo on it? It's a very well-known name. What is it called? I'm trying.
Give me a minute. I'll go grab this bottle. Maybe this is it.
Yes, they have screw caps on wine bottles down here.
It's a kangaroo, but it's done in kind of like a Australian
Aboriginal dot thing.
Yeah. What's it called?
Every time you drink it, you gotta feel guilty about land.
That's right. You have to pay tribute to the original inhabitants.
Yellowtail wine. That's what I'm taking bets. Donnie BB says Yellowtail wine. I think it's
Yellowtail.
It's gonna be Yellowtails.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I was trying to think of Yellowtail. Yes. Yellowtail.
Yeah,
it's one of the more commercial.
Yellow. It's Yellowtail. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. See, there you go.
For the win.
Wait, who suggested that?
Donnie BB, but I had mentioned it earlier, or maybe I said it wrong.
Is that
I mean, I said Kangaroo Trail, but Yellow Trail is the wine. It's one of the more commercial labels.
Who's Witzius?
I don't know.
Who are you?
Matt from.
What's my prize? Oh no, it was Donnie B. 946 who first said it, right?
What's your
Donnie
prize?
B? Okay,
Don Browning is a fantastic human being, and everyone should be more like Don Browning. There's your prize, Don. Gonna say
Matt's gonna send you super chats from now on, Donnie B.
Yes, that's right. Actually, Dawn is one of the biggest supporters of the show, and she has been for many times. She's one of those Australians where when I say bad things about Australians, I have to make exceptions, and she's one of the exceptions. She's one of the people I'm like, but not Dawn. Oh, have you? You guys. You would actually enjoy this, Tommy. Let's play this and we'll get you boys out of here. Talking about Australians, let me see if I can find it here. Chris Gard just did a.
I've always wanted to go to Australia.
You should come on down. I'll host you.
Come on
My
down.
wife won't let me. She hates that country.
I could come there.
Come
I'll
on
come
down.
there. I want to meet Donnie B.
I will be closer in a few years though. We'll be moving to South Africa.
Oh, really?
I will be closer.
Are you really? Are you out of your
Yes.
mind?
Yes. Yes.
Why are you
My
moving
wife's
to
from
South
South
Africa?
Africa.
What?
That's where my wife's from.
I know,
That's
but
where
I
my
mean,
wife's from.
people
Well,
are
if you're-
leaving South Africa.
She wants to move. Well, she left and she wants to go to Cape Town and retire there. So in a few years, we're going to Cape Town.
Wow.
You're out of
Buy
your
guns.
mind.
Get guns.
Yeah, no, I mean, I'm going there to get murdered. I know why I'm going. I'm a sacrifice.
I know you just want to you just want to live in a BRICS country, but not one of the better ones.
it's the
Probably.
BRICS, it's
Maybe
the,
that's
it's,
it.
It's the BRICS country that makes the bricks. They literally just make the bricks. That's all they do. They're like,
Yeah,
what? I thought that's
well,
what we were supposed to
and-
do. Every time they go to they go to an economic meeting, like we brought the bricks. They're like, that's not, guys. Not again. We don't need the. we don't
Well,
actually
and they
need
have
bricks.
80% less of the beautiful women as the other BRICS countries. So I'm much less likely to be tempted to do anything. Not like anybody would do anything with me.
That explains
Very
why your wife
smart.
is moving. All right, I
Very
see it.
smart.
Very smart.
Very crafty. Wives, eh? They just keep doing
Yeah,
it.
it's only like 14% white as opposed to every other country.
Okay, so this should work in terms of audio. Shout out to Chris Gard, another Australian that I always make exceptions for, and Harry Robinson of the Lotus Eaters fame. We'll just play a little bit of this. This is I don't know if this is up your alley there, Jim, but I can guarantee this is something that Tom's gonna like. Oh, if anyone complains this is too loud,
No, it's fine.
You got to grow some.
It sounds like dog.
Well, as far as I understand it, this is a completely original thing. Chris Gard wrote and produced the song, and of course, there's Harry Robinson. tearing it up.
I get that, but it has a very Doth type sound to it. It's very good. I like it. That's a good breakdown. The high vocal. Yes. Bruce Dickinson, eat your heart out. That's nasty. That dude's fucking talent vocally is so good. He's really good. I like that doubling there. Very good.
Wow.
It's like the faceless meets brutality. Very good. I like it. I like it.
Where's the percussion coming from?
Oh, there's a drummer in there.
The kangaroos out. The kangaroos out back.
No, really. I know there was other instruments besides the guitar, but I couldn't.
Right.
Were they artificially generated? Or were there other musicians there?
I don't know.
No, I'm pretty sure there were other musicians. I think they just tracked everything on top.
I see. Okay. Okay. I don't know much about this, how these things are produced, so I was just wondering.
Well, typically what you do when you're recording a song, you have like a 8-track, a 16-track, a 24-track.
Mm-hmm.
So you can record like 24 or 16, 24 different parts,
Mm-hmm.
and then bring it together within the device. You don't do it all at once. And then you learn how to incorporate it together.
Mm-hmm. And that's
typically out.
And what kind of a guitar was that? I mean, not in terms of the make, but there wasn't a bass. What kind of guitar was that?
Oh no, that was just an electric guitar. Yeah.
But it seemed to have a pretty wide range of tone.
Well, it's gonna because it's like your lead guitarist is gonna play your typical electric guitar. It's gonna have a higher octaves.
Yeah.
So your bass is going to have the lower octaves. Your electric guitar is going to have the higher octave.
Right. That seemed to have some.
And with that kind of music, you're going to have to have a rhythm, a lead. Then you'll have the bass. So you'll have 3 different guitars playing all at once.
So you were just playing regular electric guitar, but the bass was one of the other tracks, like you're talking about. Then.
Yes.
Okay,
sir.
I see. That's why I was confused.
So is the rhythm. So is the rhythm in the background.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you for the elementary education on music.
This is
No,
why
you're
people
all
should,
right, man.
this is why people should tune into the show every week, because you can't get this on Duran. Sure, you get some political analysis
It's
and
educational.
geopolitical what you calls it, but how
But
many
they ain't
times are you
bringing the yellowtail,
right? And the Chris
Boy,
Guard
boy.
and the heavy metal gentlemen. Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Send me that song.
Oh, I'll send you a link.
Me
Yep.
too. Me
Yep.
too.
Yeah,
They
I'd like
should
to break it down a
They
little
should
bit more.
play this. They should play this at the Alaska's coming right afterwards, right before the
By the way,
media scrum.
because it
Yeah.
seriously has like elements of like some bands that I used to listen to years ago, like
Now, who-
Brutality out of Fort Worth.
And anyone who says that
Faceless.
anyone who says that right wingers can't produce culture or art, there you go. There's some right wingers doing some.
You're
art.
wrong. Phil
exactly, who are
Phil
who are
Anselmo is still singing vocals for Pantera.
There you go.
who are these guys?
Harry Robinson is a works with the Carl Benjamin Sargon of the Akkad. They opened up a channel called the Lotus Eater a few years back.
Oh, Lotus
He's
Eater.
one of the
Okay.
he's one of the commentators. What would you call it? Newsreaders on that channel. And Chris Guard is a Australian right winger who he pops up everywhere. We're mutuals on X, so hats off to Chris.
Right winger in Australia. is
Very
that
good.
allowed?
You should have them on. They're very good.
It's very rare. It does happen occasionally.
No.
I think there's a few in the chat, and I think in my GCs and stuff that I think I have all of them.
Hey,
there's
just a
10 of
quick,
them, and I found them all.
quick shout out. If you're looking for some right winger heavy metal, my buddy David Sanchez has a band called Havoc out of Denver, Colorado. Big band,
again.
played in a lot of festivals, and they got a new album coming out in September.
Mhm.
So keep your eye open. He'll be on the podcast very soon, and Havoc has a new album coming out.
Also, if people didn't know, I just had Adam Patrick on yesterday. It says over on membership. So if you go buy a YouTube membership, even at $2 level, you can access that. A little early access before I put it out on all the podcatcher things. So we're going back to interviews, going back to at the end of the day is coming back. And so stay tuned for more of that. More developments over on Marin Check now. Gentlemen, let's sign off. I appreciate you all. Of course, again, Jim Jatras, I tried to warn you. Books out on Amazon, Kindle. Buy one. What's wrong with you? Just buy one. Read it. Just buy it and put it on your shelf. Just have it.
Don't even read it. Just have it. Just pay Jim Jatras. God damn
It's also good for home defense.
Give Jim Jatras your money.
It's his fly over to
doesn't have
Australia
enough.
fun, so that Jim and I can do a side by side, and
That would be cool. That
Yeah.
would be cool.
and maybe we'll
That'd be cool. Yeah.
we'll rest.
I want
there's
to
also-
make it to Ludwell this year so I can meet Jim in person, because I get invited every year and I haven't made it yet. So
Well, why didn't
Hopefully
you
I-
come to the one in Lockhart?
because I was working. Work is the thing that stops everything.
Well, you know what?
Driving
Mark said,
truck
work
is
the
not an
curse of the
easy
drinking class.
profession. Hey, you know,
Work is
driving-
the curse of the drinking class.
hey, I have missed so many birthdays, so many t-ball games, baseball games, basketball games because of work. And it's just one of those things. I've just always had to do it.
I know. I was acquainted with it once upon a time.
So was I. My wife keeps dragging me back in to do jobs. I'm like, why would I have to go to? Can
I got to ask, Jason.
as long as I do a
how are
job where I
you
don't have to
feeling?
talk to people.
How are you feeling? How are you doing physically?
Physically, I think I've acclimatized a bit to the pain now, which is it's winter in Australia, so it's cold and damp, so it's really bad for
Yeah.
arthritis. So I've been dealing with that, but picking up side work, doing like painting and stuff like that. So I can only really stand for about half an hour before I have to sit down. So that's fun. Other than that, though, spiritually, I was saying to Tommy before we went live, man, I've been started my catechism about 3 weeks ago, and did the official spitting on the devil and all the rest of it, and I've just been happy, and to many normal people that sounds like, okay, so you've been happy, but you don't understand. I'm never happy. Like, I'm not a happy person. Like, I have to force it usually. I'm just standardly annoyed all the time, and for the last weeks I've been like genuinely happy. Like, seeing people on the street like, hi, how you doing? Like, and it's not like a put on. So there's that. Go to liturgy. It works. Just go.
Yeah.
If it can make this curmudgeon like bottom baseline, like normal human being of emotional range. Like, just like I've added a new emotion to my repertoire, and I'm not used to it. There's a part of me that doesn't like it too. There's always that little iconoclast in me who goes, I don't know about this happy thing. I don't know. Really, are you really happy? I can't control it. I don't know why. It's just happening. But of course,
it's too good to be true.
Hey, man, get some Jesus in your life any way you can. Tommy Salmons over on year zero. And so you said you have who's your next guest coming up, Tom?
I don't know. I'm just going to re-release this on Thursday.
Yeah,
and we'll figure it out. I don't know. I'm trying because of the fast pace of the news cycle. I'm trying to keep up with it the best I can. So that means I'm not like pre-booking guests. Right. I'm trying to figure out who best fits with what I want to talk about this week. So it's a little bit more complicated now, especially with my work schedule, but we're figuring it out. Sometimes it's just me talking. So
we should tune in. I've always Tom, you have a unique voice in the podcast world.
That's a good way of saying I'm annoying.
No, but I'm no, not at all. You're instantly likable, which is rare, I think. Sometimes.
No, I try, man. I just try to have a good time and just be me and just have fun doing it and laugh as much as possible, because it's easy to get freaking black-pilled right now.
Yep. Don't get black-pilled. So there's always hope.
Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much. Appreciate you tuning in. Like, subscribe, share, and do all the things. Send money, and you know what to do. Et cetera. And we'll be back next week. I'll be back if you like. I see some people going no kick. Shorter streams don't really work on Kick, but I will be jumping on after this and play some The King is Watching, my new video game obsession. It's eating into a lot of other things in my life, but I'm going to play at least an hour.
Oh, you're not power washing anymore?
I still am I'm waiting for Power Washer 2. That's supposed to come out this year, so it's still
Did you beat the first one?
You don't really beat it. You just kind of finish it.
Yeah, I was like, can you power wash everything? Like,
yeah. Well, they keep adding things too. You can like power wash Shrek, and they have all these add-ons. So I'm interested in the new one. But I'll be playing a little bit of that over on Kick. So come over there and check that out if you're still up and at 'em. And of course, I am Jason Marinchuk, and it's later than you think.